everyone, welcome back to the Reclaimed Ranch. My name is Tara, and today I have 6 fun and easy projects for the holidays. I have this little charger here. I actually bought this piece retail. I was not impressed with the picture they had in there. So I went ahead and removed the picture, painted the background green. I was going to paint a sunflower in there, but then I'm like, oh, it's time to switch seasons. So we're going to go ahead, and this is a beautiful deer from the Holly Glen IOD transfer. So I went ahead and put him in there. I'm going to go ahead and add some of my Fusion Antiquing Glaze just to kind of age it a little bit, blend everything in, and then I'm going to wipe that back. And when I let that dry, I was like, he's kind of plain. So funny thing about this garland, you know, when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see all these ads and one just jumps out at you like, that's such a cool product. Well, this was one of them. It's supposed to be like a Real Touch pine greenery garland, and it was supposed to be 3 times fuller than this from what they showed me. So I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. So we're going to make it work. We're going to use it in crafts. So I'm just going to tear apart some of these little pieces of greenery and make a little wreath around him. And I think he turned out super cool. But just beware, guys. You know, on those ads, they get you. They aren't always what they seem. So, and for some reason, I am so gullible, and I think, this is going to be great. They won't cheat me this time. Well, forewarned, they did. I mean, I did end up getting 3 pieces of this garland, but from what they showed, it was one big fluffy one. Lesson learned. This next project, I have this Crackle texture, and I sell Fusion products, and I've sold Fusion for quite a few years, and I've never tried it. And so I want to try, this is those popular viral Santa busts that are going around from Walmart. They're like $15 at Walmart, and I guess it's really hard to find. So when I was at Sonnet's Retreat this past week, or a couple weeks ago, the girls were telling me about it, and they had no Santas in their area. And so I jumped onto my Walmart up here in Spokane, and they had some. So I went ahead and bought 2 for me and 2 for a friend of mine who couldn't get them. And I decided, okay, we're going to jump on this bandwagon. Cute Santa. So this is after the first one, and I put 3 coats, and what I learned was it's kind of a lot like milk paint, except I don't get the whole chippy effect of it. So it does the crackling, but it doesn't really chip. But you do have to have, like, I think several layers and thicker layers. So the thicker the coat, the more cracks and bigger cracks you're going to get. But I did end up loving the way this looks. I'm going to go in. So this is just after I did just the Crackle texture. I didn't paint it anything. I went right in with my antiquing glaze, and it went right into those cracks and crevices and turned out just gorgeous. I really liked the way this guy turned out, and I was kind of hem-hawing, like, what route did I want to go? Did I want to do like a more of a white and gold Santa? Did I want to do a vintage look to him? Did I want to paint him, his hat and his coat red? So I ended up doing the red. And the base, I was having a hard time. I didn't really want to do more antiquing effect like I'm doing now, because it just seemed to be like a little too much. So I was kind of going back and forth, and I ended up going with cast iron in Fusion and just did that black look to the base. I was lazy and didn't have my Highlander red from Fusion, so I pulled out my Folk Art Cardinal red, and this worked out beautifully. It's just one of those cheaper paints from Walmart, the Folk Art. You can use any kind of paint on these little busts here. And so this turned out just as gorgeous. It's a beautiful cardinal red. And so I did, I believe, 2 coats of the red on his hat and his coat, and then I went back over with my antiquing glaze just to kind of tie it all in, just to mute that red just a little bit, and it turned out perfect. I love all the crackles in it, and I just think it's a very elegant piece. Be a great centerpiece in a vignette or tabletop or on a mantle somewhere. I just think these are just super, super cool. And I know exactly why they went viral, is because there's so many options to do with them. Like, I really want to do, I think, my other one in more like a winter scene where he's wearing kind of white and maybe gold tips on his hat, and have a little bit of that evergreen greenery coming through, maybe some pine cones. I don't know. My brain goes all over the place. So, but definitely a fun project, and I hope you guys jump on that bandwagon and get one of these and play around with it, because this just makes a very, very cool centerpiece. And this year, so last year I did all gold and white. This year I'm getting back on the vintage Santa bandwagon. I have been collecting like the little Santa mugs from Japan, and I have some old what do they call paper mache Santas, I guess. And so I think I'm gonna kind of do the vintage Santa decor. I keep changing it almost every year now. My husband's like, oh no. But that's why he loves me, right? I'm forever changing and never the same. All right, so for this third project, when I go to the bins, I always find these like aluminum older kitchen items, and so I'm gonna go in with Winter Botanist, and they do look super cute in just your regular decor vignettes in the kitchen and stuff, but I like to be able to just take certain pieces out of those vignettes and switch them with something a little bit holiday. So you don't have to switch out everything unless you love doing that. For me, I love to have a lot of stuff, but I don't necessarily like to switch everything out for each season anymore. I just like a little pop of the red and greens and the different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and I picked out this really cute little leafy berry bush, and it has Noel on it. And that way I can stick this little guy into my vignettes in the kitchen, and that will give me the color I'm looking for. And I always use the Fusion Tough Coat Matte to seal my transfers in. And because it's kind of all over the transfer, I want to make sure to do the entire piece on that bottom part so that the sheen is all the same, if that makes sense, because aluminum's pretty shiny, and the matte you would definitely be able to see where the matte line is. So same thing, what we're going to do is we're going to go with one of those kitchen items you find in the bins, old rusty crusty. These are just old aluminum ones, and I actually flipped it over. So this is the back side of it, and I'm taking my Fusion parchment, and I'm going to do 3 coats it took, because that metal color is pretty dark. And I'm just doing the tops of those muffin tins. And then we're going to take the IOD Kitschy Christmas from, I believe it's either last year or the year before. I'm still trying to work through all my IOD transfers and inlays and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick out 6 different little items to put transfers on to those little guys. And so guys, originally I had planned to hang this project, but things happened. I was watching my show, wasn't paying attention. I ended up putting the transfers on backwards, or upside down, I should say. So my daughter walks in and she's like, the hole's on the bottom. I'm like, oh no. So, but there's always a fix, right? So we ended up just putting a beautiful little velvet bow on the bottom. we'll call it like a shelf sitter or something. I mean, you could put a hanger on the other side. She's like, can't you just drill another hole? And I'm like, no, I'm going to leave it. It is what it is. It's still really cute though. But these are just fun. And then you can also flip that guy over and do the inside of the muffin tins with like fall stuff or spring stuff, so that all you have to do is literally flip it over in your vignette and you're good to go. That's what I love about these, the two projects in one.
Headlights on the highway, if you only knew. Being back here always makes me think of you. When the world is sleeping, do you think of me? With the road ahead's coming back again, coming back to me. I remember the long drives, the late nights in your car. I remember it all. Windows down, empty streets, you were all I used to know. You and I, forever, forever ago. And you used to drive me home. Now I drive alone. You and I, forever, forever, forever ago. This town's so quiet, this time of year. With the road ahead's coming back again, coming back to me. I remember the long drives, the late nights in your car. I remember it all. Windows down, empty streets, you were all I used to know. You and I, forever, forever ago. And you used to drive me home. Now I drive alone. You and I, forever, forever, forever I fell hard, I fell fast, hoping that my love for you will last forever, forever, forever ago. I fell hard, I fell fast, hoping that my love for you will last forever, forever, forever. Windows down, empty streets, you were all I used to know. You and I, forever, forever ago. And you used to drive me home. Now I drive alone. You and I, forever, forever, forever ago.
So this is where we're going to go ahead and just wire in that bow. And I was kind of racking my brain, like I wanted something to dry fast as far as glue went. So I tried super glue, and that did take a little while because of the metal, I think. It did work, but then I went over it with some Gorilla Hot Glue just to kind of protect it a little bit more. But I think it would be better to maybe use like a epoxy or something to hold that in there. So here's another little kitchen item I got at the bins, a little teapot, silver teapot that had such cute little ornate designs in it that I wanted to kind of make those pop a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is just go in with my Fusion Cranberry. And I love this red because it's more muted. It's not as bright as like the Fort York Fusion or the Highlander. if you're more into like the maroon tones, this is a great red for that. So I'm going to go in and just do like the top stripe and the bottom stripe. And I did 2 coats, let that dry really well. And then I went in with the silver because last year I did white and gold. I want to have a little bit more of a gold hint to it. So I took some antique gold rub and buff and just highlighted all the beautiful details. So it still has silver in it, but all of the raised like details on it is going to be the gold rub and buff, and I think it turned out gorgeous. And then my plan for this is to have a bottle brush tree inside. So these are always fun, you know, to have for your Christmas decor, just to have bottle brush trees, or you can put like a little half orb in there with some like green leaves and berries, or you know, all kinds of fun things can go into this. You can do, I have a bunch of red and green old wooden bobbins. You could stack those in there. You could have a little doily coming out with some fun things, and just it's just endless items that can go inside these to really make your decor kind of pop and your vignettes shine. And I'm still kind of trying to debate on whether or not I want to take just a small artist brush and just do all of the silver in that gold. But I kind of like having the two-tone silver and gold with the red, because red goes with both of them, really. And so we'll see. And I'm still debating on whether or not to keep this piece for myself. I have a hard time. It's like, it's fun when you make a new decor, and that's what you do, is you switch out some of your old decor and you either sell it or donate it, and then you use the new decor. It's kind of a fun rotation. So you guys let me know what you think I should do. Should I just do it all gold, or should I leave it gold and silver? You'll be able to see it a little bit better at the end in the little video clip. And let me know what you guys think. So this final project is, I went to the 127 yard sale with a bunch of my friends, and my plan was to look for some old ball jar lids, and I found them. Some of them were crazy prices, but I found one for, I think these were like $2 a piece, or maybe $1.50 a piece. And I have this really pretty Churches and Angels decoupage paper. It is on my website, thereclaimbranch.com. And I thought it would be gorgeous to decoupage those on the inside. So you can drill holes in the middle on top and make them ornaments, or I have them in like an old wooden scoop with some greenery kind of just in there, and that's kind of fun, like on a tablescape. There's just, these can go in a bowl, these can go kind of anywhere. Look at how cool that is. And originally I was going to do transfers in those. I thought that would be fun, but since I did so many transfers in the other projects, I wanted to try some decoupage, and I think that's one of my favorites on this video, are those little ball jar lids. So here's our sweet little deer. I think he turned out great. And here is our Santa. Look at this, you guys. So cool. You'll see in the next clip here, the really up close on the Crackle, but that antique glaze is just gorgeous. Love that stuff. And see here, look at that Crackle. And so I actually am going to start using that Crackle medium because I just love it. And our cute little shaker, Noel, it's just going to be a fun little pop of color in my vignettes for the kitchen at Christmas time. So let me know what you guys' favorite was for today, and I will be back next week with another video. I believe we're going to be doing our Sonnets Makers box pretty soon, and also we have our Flippin' Frenzy, which in our Sonnets membership group, we have several people who send different items to each other, and then we have to flip those items for the holiday season. So that's going to be really fun. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.